I'm Dr. Katrina Luz, board-certified dermatologist based in the Philippines, face behind Ask Your Derma, and picky expert. Welcome, and thank you for watching. Today, we're going to talk about sensitive skin. Now, sensitive skin is a topic that's very close to my heart because personally, I experience sensitive skin. Now, just to give you an idea, imagine walking into a department store, pharmacy, or scrolling in your Picky app and wondering and worrying whether you're going to develop a reaction to the product. Yes, that's sensitive skin. Now, what is sensitive skin? Sensitive skin is characterized by the development of signs of inflammation, and these could include redness, itching, burning or stinging, flushing, wheals, and even acne-like lesions. And it's in response to stimuli that typically wouldn't cause that reaction. Now, there are actually 4 subtypes of sensitive skin. The first one is the acne type, wherein you'd be more prone to developing acne-like lesions, papules, pustules, cysts, or even nodules. The second subtype is the rosacea type, where you'd be more prone to flushing, persistent redness, or even hot sensations. The third subtype is the stinging type, where you'd be more prone to burning or stinging-like sensation. And the last is the allergic subtype, wherein you'd be more prone to redness, itching, or even flaking in contact with allergens or irritants. Now, all these different subtypes are non-exclusive, meaning you can have one or more combinations of each one. Now, it's important for you to know which subtype you have so that you can take it into account when choosing products and incorporating them into your routine. Now, why do people have sensitive skin? Now, the commonality between all these different subtypes is that there is a problem with the skin barrier. Do you remember what the skin barrier is for? The skin barrier is the outermost layer of the skin, and it acts as a protective barrier against the environment. It regulates the loss of bodily fluids and electrolytes, regulates body temperature, and even protects from UV radiation, microbes, and even oxidants. Now, the skin barrier also acts as a permeability barrier, meaning it regulates what is able to penetrate into the skin. Remember, the skin barrier is important to the overall health of our skin, and a weakened skin barrier would mean that it would be more prone to penetration to allergens and irritants. This is why someone with sensitive skin should be very cautious with the products that they'll apply to their skin, and should take into account these things when they start a skincare routine. Now, another question that you might be asking is, why do I have sensitive skin and other people don't? Well, sensitive skin is actually, by the most part, due to genetics. But of course, it can also be influenced by environmental factors, such as humidity, temperature, UV radiation, and of course, the products that you apply onto the skin. Now, the next step is, how can you customize a skincare routine for the sensitive skin type? Now, just a disclaimer, for the sensitive skin type, it's important to have as simple and as basic a skincare routine as possible. And also remember that while all the 4 different skin types would benefit from anti-inflammatories, each one would have unique skincare needs as well. So let's get to it. For an AM skincare routine, you can start with 1. A cleanser. You want a simple, fragrance-free, mild cleanser. And some don'ts to keep in mind would be over-cleansing, using hot water, exfoliating, and makeup wipes. Definitely chuck those ones out. Now, for step 2, you'd want a moisturizer. Choose a basic, fragrance-free moisturizer. And some ingredients to look out for would include ceramides, glycerin, as well as colloidal oatmeal. And step 3, definitely sunscreen. Now, you might be wondering, oh no, what if I develop a reaction to the sunscreen? Well, then you might as well choose a physical sunscreen over a chemical sunscreen to lessen your chances of developing a reaction. Now let's go to the PM skincare routine. For the PM skincare routine, you can repeat step 1, the cleanser, and step 2, the moisturizer. Now, you might be wondering, where do the actives come in? Now here's the tricky part. You can choose an active based on your skin concern, but if you have sensitive skin, you might have an increased risk of developing a reaction to it. So here are some things to keep in mind. 1. You want to make sure to start low and slow, and adjust your use of the product based on the tolerance of your skin. Number 2, you'd want to make sure to patch test. Patch test a small amount of the product before using it onto the whole face. Now let's review how to patch test. You can patch test by applying a small amount on a small patch of skin, and this could be behind the ear, the jaw, or even on the inner part of your arm. You'd want to wait at least 48 hours and check if you've developed any signs of inflammation. If there are no signs of inflammation, then you can go ahead and use the product on your whole face. Number 3, now if you're adding multiple products into your skincare routine, you'd want to try to add one product at a time and wait at least a week before introducing another product. The reason being, it would be easier for you to identify the culprit if you do develop a reaction. And number 4, hashtag #AskYourDerma. You'd want to make sure to check in with your friendly, board-certified dermatologist so that they can help you identify if you do fall into one of the 4 subtypes, have an underlying skin condition, and as well as how to start your customized skincare routine. Now let's do a quick rundown of the do's and don'ts for sensitive skin. Now let's start with the don'ts. Now, you'd want to try to avoid using many products in your skincare routine. You'd also want to try to avoid changing these products every so often. Try as much as possible to avoid high percent of actives and steer clear from fragrance as well as alcohol. You also want to try to avoid mentholated products such as those that contain peppermint, as this can cause your skin to become reactive. You also want to try as much as possible to avoid high pH cleansers, as these can be stripping, and avoid chemical peels as well. Let's go to the do's of sensitive skin. You want to make sure that you have a basic and simple skincare routine. Try to look for fragrance-free claims, and remember that unscented is not equal to fragrance-free. You also want to try out hypoallergenic lines. And of course, make sure to use sun protection. Test out the products before you use them. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about this video or other burning questions that you'd like answered in the next videos. If you'd like to know more about the science behind skincare, don't forget to follow me at @AskYourDerma as well as Picky. You can even download the Picky app in the description down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date with all the Picky videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.